It's a scene that's played out countless times over 150 years of railroading on New River. A coal train grinding its way upriver, eastbound for Newport News. Today, though, is a bit of an occasion, as it marks 150 years to the day since the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad was completed here on January 29, 1873. Hi, I'm Lucas Berry for White Oak Rail, and today we will spend the day at Hawk's Nest and commemorate that occasion as we celebrate one of the most important events in the history of West Virginia, and indeed, in my eyes, one of the most important events in the history of railroading. My original plan was to head trackside by the river, but on the way over I had my scanner on at the car and I picked up a train near Cotton Hill. I saw the signal was lit for the number 1 track, and I didn't have enough time to get down to the river, so I had to go to the overlook. I think it worked out. This is C207, coal loads for Newport News, Virginia. It was great to see the number 1 track in service again. I'd only been here once since they put it back into service, and I did get a train there, but it wasn't a very good shot, so you're not going to see it. But it was really great to see. I was hoping to get something today, and if it was to be, I was hoping it would be on the number 1 track, so I got what I wanted. And man, it felt so good to see that track back in service again, especially being what today is. C207 was 448 axles and not a defect on one of them. I thought that was all I was going to get, but I was wrong. Check this out.
What are you going to do with all them engines? Split them at Russell and then take one to the pit? I hear that. That'd be fun. Oh, yeah.
That's another train out there. Turns out we're witnessing a meet. There's a bunch of empties on that number 2 track heading west.
The second set of loads going up on 1 track. That's kind of funny. So, your train's the second loaded train coming up on 1 track. I'm surprised they didn't run us down 1. You guys up to? Well, there's a track inspector in front of y'all down there in all fall. Oh, okay. That one in front of you should be paying the first service by now. Yes, they see him again later on. Yeah.
Now, if I heard this correctly, that's E89525. E895 is the train number, and 25 is for January 25th when the train originated from Newport News. If in fact it is E895, it's heading back to Princeton, Indiana. I only say if because when I went back and listened to it while recording this, I could have sworn I heard E825, and I can't find that on any list of CSX train symbols. So I'm going to assume that's E89525. You may wonder why that crew thought it was funny that they sent 2 loaded coal trains up number 1 track. And that's because the general rule of thumb, although not always adhered to, is that eastbound trains take the number 2 track and westbound trains take the number 1 track. Whatever train it was, it got over the road pretty quickly. Of course, it didn't have to slow down for the massive curve over here on the number 1 track, so that probably helped a little bit. By the way, I forgot to mention, leave a comment based on what you heard. We'll see if we can figure this out together. And in case you were wondering, here's what this train sounded like on the Cotton Hill defect detector.
CSX detector, milepost 411.1, track main 2, no defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axles, 9er 2. Detector out.
750-80, clear, MO, B176.
It wasn't that long after the previous 2 trains cleared out that this guy showed up. C-117, coal loads from Corbin, Kentucky to Newport News, Virginia. Now, since we're here, let's talk a little bit about, well, why we're here. Today marks the anniversary of the completion of the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad. That's right, it was Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad. I know what you're asking. What was it afterwards? It was Chesapeake and Ohio Railway. The C&O ran into financial trouble in the late 1800s and had to reorganize itself as Chesapeake and Ohio Railway. It was completed as Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad. Now, here's how this worked. Crews built west from White Sulphur Springs and crews built east from Huntington. They met right here at Hawks Nest. And just like the Transcontinental Railroad. And why is that notable? Well, because one of the main financial backers of the Transcontinental Railroad, and the main financial backer here, was a man named Collis P. Huntington. Huntington had been involved with Central Pacific, which built the western part of the Transcontinental Railroad and met Union Pacific at Promontory, Utah. Huntington believed the C&O would be the eastern part of a true Transcontinental Railroad. The Transcontinental Railroad we all know stopped in Omaha, Nebraska at the end of the UP. The first train on the newly completed C&O was a passenger train full of railroad dignitaries and politicians, and it was here for the event. It set out from Richmond, Virginia several days earlier, and on board they had a little vial of water from the James River. And the train went all the way to Huntington, and when it was there, it dumped some of that water into the Ohio River, and on the way back, they took a little vial of water from the Ohio River and dumped it in the James River, thus signifying the connection between the Ohio River and the tidewater regions of Virginia. After all, that is what Chesapeake and Ohio was built to do. It was built to connect the Ohio River to the Chesapeake Bay and the tidewater region of Virginia. So it just made sense. I don't guess you get to be almost 1,000 axles if you don't have distributed power to make basically 2 trains in one, and that's what this was. 944 to be exact. Sorry, I accidentally deleted the footage of the defect detector and I really couldn't get it back, so that's on me. No sooner had C-117 left than up came another train. This is G-11426, grain empties from Rocky Mount, North Carolina to Garrett, Indiana.
District Steel Booth 3259, 112, clear, MA. G11426 out.
Let's see what G114 sounded like on that Cotton Hill defect detector.
CSX detector, milepost 411.1 track, main 2, no defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axles 756. Detector out.
Our final train of the day is an eastbound grain train with an EMD up front. Now that's something you're seeing a little bit more on CSX, but it's still not the norm. It's pretty cool if you ask me. I never did catch this guy's symbol. He did say it when he called MA Captain, but I couldn't understand it. I really could not make it out. G something. That's all we know. As we have our last train of the day crossing the bridge here at Hawks Nest, can we just point out how beautiful this place is and how stunning that reflection is off the river? It's one of the many reasons why I love coming here. And we will end our Railfanning adventure at Hawk's Nest with this amazing shot, at least to me. Not that there's anything special about the camera or anything, I just think it's amazing to see the train winding through the gorge. I love this. Again, one of the many reasons I love coming to Hawk's Nest is that you can see this. Wow, five trains today. Could not even have begun to imagine I'd have a day like this. Couldn't even begin to thought of it. Fantastic day. 2 meets. Number 1 track very much back in service. Cannot beat it. You cannot beat it. But that's not the only reason why I came out to film today. The second reason is to provide a channel update. It's been a while since we've spoken. I've not stopped working on videos, but I hit a bit of a snag. The microphone I use to record voiceovers kind of died on me. So I did get a new one. And now that's back in, I'm going to start to really move my way into some new videos for you. I've got 2 I'm working on right now. One is called Classic Diesels in West Virginia, and that's first up. I cannot wait to show that to you. That'll be out sometime soon. Not going to give a date, just whenever it's finished. Then the second one I'm working on is called Thurmond. We have the meats. And that's spelled M-E-E-T-S, not M-E-A-T-S. I'm not stepping on anyone's toes over Arby's, okay? We're not. We're not. I happen to like their food, don't want to get them mad. So, that's what you have to look forward to on the channel here. The next 2 videos up, of course, after this one. And I cannot wait to show them to you. I really can't. These are some good videos, I think, and I hope you'll enjoy them as much as I enjoy making them. Please hit that like button down below if you like the video. Leave a comment down below if you are so inclined. If you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. When we get to 500 subscribers, it's going to unlock the community section of YouTube for our channel here. And it's going to allow me to communicate better to you what's going on. I can make text, I can do video, I can really do a lot of things to let you know what's going on, and you'll be able to share your opinion a lot easier. So there's a lot of good to that. We're not that far away. We just need a few more subscriptions. We'll get there. Just, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. And if you have subscribed and you know someone who you think would like the channel but hasn't yet subscribed, share it and let them get on board with us here. Until next time, somewhere out there on the railroad, I am Lucas Berry for White Oak Rail.